Hey, what's up? This is Mick, and you're listening to Piedmont Artist Profiles on Snow Peak Radio. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Piedmont Artist Profiles. This weekend's guest is the Wormholes. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great, great. So you guys have been on tour quite a bit lately, huh?
We have.
Yeah.
We have. We're in the midst of our spring tour, about halfway through right now.
Where all have you been there on that tour?
We kicked it off in Bristol,
Yeah?
right?
Yep. Yeah,
And then
Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, Richmond, Johnson City, Raleigh, and Charlotte, and now Concord.
Just played
right here.
right here in the basement.
Yeah.
So along your way, this isn't your first tour, right? You guys do this annually kind of thing, or?
Not more than annually for sure. We try to do it as much as we can, but this one in particular is a little bit more saturated, which we are definitely digging.
Yeah. Playing every night, or?
Not every night. It's kind of pockets because we all have jobs other than this,
right?
Unfortunately,
so
we kind of work our way around that. But we're gearing up to try to continue to book and push and play more shows.
You have any super epic stops along the way the past couple months?
Well, the Visual Ed was pretty cool. This past Thursday.
Awesome.
That
Yeah.
was. I've been looking forward to playing that room for since I moved to Charlotte.
Uh-huh.
And that was my first experience on that stage, and it was
all of ours.
Yeah, actually all
Yeah.
of ours.
So where are you guys from originally?
Yeah, me and Ben are from
the Charlotte area.
Charlotte area, Concord.
He's from Raleigh.
Yeah.
From Raleigh, yeah.
All right. So your guys' sound is super unique. It's like it's got like a little psychedelic feel to it, but it's like how do you guys describe it? I know on your website you call it space pop. What defines your sound to you guys?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. Yeah, we came up with the space pop moniker a while back, and then we realized that doesn't really tell you anything. So we've shifted kind of to try to say electro alternative. If that's, that still doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah,
the whole genre labeling thing is it's a funny little. I don't know. We I guess the best way we could describe it is electronic alternative, because we blend a traditional 3-piece rock trio, guitar, bass, drums, with a layering of sequencers and synthesizers and a lot of electronic elements, and using the computer more as an instrument rather than it's just a tool, but we're still using it to perform.
right.
And have integrated that into the sound. So we walk that line between heavy, we walk that line between more chill. And finding a encapsulating term for that it's been a little difficult.
Yeah, I don't think you need genres anymore.
Yeah,
No,
we're kind of at a time
well.
like let's say what music is in the post-genre era.
It is. Wow, that's a great hipster term.
Yeah,
right
there we
there.
go. Yeah, it's hipster shit.
But it is though. Our parents' rock gods had very few influences, and it keeps boiling and boiling and boiling and up to where. You might play rock, but you also listen to Jay-Z and whatever else. So
Yeah.
it's all blended together these days.
Yeah, and we all we definitely have similar and differing tastes in all kinds of types of music,
Right.
all over the place. So a lot of our inspirations are pulled from very different sources, and that kind of all blends together, and then is kind of output as this whole other amoeba.
Mm-hmm. So how complex is it to tour with a setup like you guys got?
Awesome.
Pretty good.
You guys just set it up at the basement here in 30 minutes. So
We've gotten better
impressive.
at it. We've gotten better at it, but it's definitely been a practice
Mhm.
kind of thing, trying to figure out how to load up in a minivan
Yeah.
and get everything
Shout
together.
out to the Honda Odyssey.
Yeah.
So do you guys ever play with an acoustic drum set, or you pretty much do samplers?
No. So
Oh,
this is out of the ordinary for us.
Okay.
So we play a full kit. So what you're seeing now is we kind of adapted this where the drum parts are covered electronically, and I'm doing a lot more processing and playing live synth. But that rig that you see is back behind the drum set with me usually when we play live.
Okay.
Which is a much more intense is the wrong word, but it's definitely, there's a lot of energy that the live drums bring it. That
the dynamics are different.
Yeah, it'll be much more subdued and chill today, and then you can come see us live, and it's kind of a whole different experience.
Right. Well, I saw you guys at Shakedown. You guys tore the place up.
Mm-hmm.
I think did it start raining right after you got off stage? I think
it started raining during our set, which was kind of sick.
That's right. And I tore down my booth, so that I was going to interview you guys, but I had to tear it down for the rain.
Yeah, that's a tough situation.
Yeah, I mean, you guys incorporate like lights and there's smoke machines and everything. It's visually stimulating as well as audibly. So
yeah, and we're trying to lean a little bit more on that these upcoming shows. I mean, we're gonna run this tour all the way through April, and then this will be the first time we're announcing this. But we've locked in a residency at Snug Harbor for the month of May. So every Wednesday in May, we're hosting a different show.
Nice.
With all kinds of bands, friends from in town, friends from on the road, but each lineup is unique in its own sense, and the whole residency will have a lot of variety. But after that, we're hoping, especially to take a little bit of time off in June to work on pushing towards getting more of a visual aesthetic together, especially with visual projections. That's kind of going to be our next step. Because right now we have our like blacklight reactive backdrop and lasers and blacklights, and it's a cool experience, but we want to bring some more visual art to that. We're a rarity because we're lucky that we have an artist and graphic designer as our lead singer and guitar player. So all of our art is original. So a lot of what you're seeing that we're putting out for content will be manipulated for visuals down the road. So that's going to be a fun experiment to get into. So
your guys' sound where it is at now, has it kind of morphed into this? Did it start out this synth heavy and all this trippy shit going on?
Yeah, it started out more just kind of rock.
Yeah.
Experimental rock. And synthesizers were always
a dream.
Wanted.
Yeah, it was like
a dream.
It was a dream to have synthesizers.
Synthesizer Dreams. That's our other side project. It's called Synthesizer Dreams.
But we quickly added the synthesizer. There wasn't much time without it. And then, yeah, there was this kind of sound that we've always been going for. And I think a couple months ago we found it.
Yeah.
And so this new album is really going to be something that has been a long time coming, I think.
So let's talk about your new album. You guys are working on an album right now, right? It's about to come out.
We are. We're so as of now, it's looking like we're gonna use the third residency date, May 16th, at Snug as our album release show. So we're hosting. I know we talked earlier before we plugged in about Indighost, but Indighost is gonna join us from Johnson City. Rare Creatures out of Charleston, and Lady Comes First.
Really?
Is that the Lady Comes First show?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think they're on the bill with us for that.
Oh yeah.
So that night's gonna be real heavy-handed.
Stacked.
Yeah.
Real stacked. Like it's gonna be a rockin' show. But I think we're gonna put that album out then. So we're in the absolute final lap of a long production process of getting that done.
How long have you guys been working on it?
Since before we were born.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say about a year. Right now, our last album we put out was just an EP, and it was April of last year. So some of the songs that are on this new album we have been performing, but we've never actually cut them as tracks. And the interesting aspect of that is we play these live, and then we get into the studio, and they kind of take a different form, which then impacts how we play it live from that point on. So some of the older songs that we've been writing and working on for a couple years, they now have become something slightly different, and there's kind of this new life bred into them, and those tracks are now fitting more of the style that we're going for, even though they may have been written before that era began. If that makes any sense. So it's really exciting for us to have brand new music, and then music we've been working on for a while that fits the mold that we're trying of the sonic kind of sound font that we're trying to create for the band.
Are you guys producing it all yourself? And
we are, yeah, yep. Engineering all ourselves, mixing and recording at a studio we built at Ben's house, and
Ben's House Studios.
Yeah, Ben's House Studios. Dairy Rush Studios. But my roommate from college is a good friend, old friend. His name is Mark Hallisey. He was in the music program, and I was in the film program at Western Carolina University. And he does our masters for us.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of this wizardry. There's this wizardry of knob twiddling that he can pull out some really good stuff out of the mixes and really bring it to life and make it sound full.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited about that. He's mastered our previous 2 albums, and he'll be doing this one as well.
That's awesome. So you went to film school.
I did.
That's where the graphic stuff comes in.
Well, he went to art school,
Yeah?
film school. Yeah, so his degree's in art, mine's in film. So we try to integrate those as much as we can into our process.
Where'd you go to school?
Western Carolina's where we all met each other up there.
Oh, right on.
Like I met Ben my freshman year within the first month, and hung out with him, started playing music with him right off the bat, basically.
How long ago was that?
About 10 years ago. No,
Freshman
long.
year,
It's 12 years. 12 years
2006?
ago. 12
Nice.
years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right on.
Jeez, really?
So
Hashtag best friend shit.
well, it's awesome. You can tell there's definitely chemistry between you guys. So in your notes, you said you wanted me to mention Antidote, the story behind the song Antidote. What is the story?
That song has been, well, that's a new song that no one has heard
Mm-hmm.
except us.
And we've actually never played it. Yeah, we have not played it yet.
I have not
It
played
is a
it.
song that came that all right, well, let's see. We'll back it up.
Back it up.
About a couple months ago, this process to create the electronic elements that we use during the show, it can be a very tedious and meticulous technological endeavor. And there was this one song in particular that we had this MIDI data that I needed so desperately to write this new part, or to write this new synth part. And it was from years and years past, and I could never find it. And so I dug through some old hard drives and old computers to try to find it. And I found a file from 2014 labeled with the date, and it's just called Nice and Chillaxed. And I played that file, and it was this old riff that we put. What am I talking about? The right song? I'm talking about Coldfish.
Another new song.
Yeah, another new song.
Another new song.
Antidote.
You want to talk about Coldfish too?
Yeah, I'm talking about Coldfish. Yeah, I'll at least wrap that story up since I started to it. Anyway, that's the other new song.
You get
and
two new song stories.
We'll actually be playing that song later today for the performance today. But yeah, I found that file, and it was this old kind of riff that I had played around with in an old studio, and I remember always liking it, but it kind of just fell into the weeds.
Mm-hmm.
And so now, 4 years later, we pulled it back out, and we're like, holy shit, this is a track. We should make this into a song, like a full song. And then so we kind of worked through it, and it kind of became what it is now. And so it was just weird that song's super old, but is now one of our brand new tracks.
It's reached its maturity.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't for whatever reason it wasn't ready, and it had to rest into the graveyard of hard drives.
Yeah.
But Antidote was another song that we wrote. It was kind of a riff we wrote a while back, and it really was just, simple bass line, a little 4-on-the-floor drum kit or drum track, and then a theremin part. And then the song was actually called Theremin Song because the melody was driven by this theremin part that we wrote with the Moog, and it was kind of cool. And then that kind of just, we had it as a recording on a phone. I think
Yeah,
we recorded, we played it in the room, we were messing around. Then somebody held an iPhone up and recorded it, and
it was in the Stardust and Mindship sessions.
It was the last year's album sessions. It was about when that came to fruition, but again, it just kind of sat as a file, and we pulled it back out, and we were like, yeah, we're onto something here. So we kind of fleshed it out a little bit further and structured it and arranged it, and it became this song that we were really, really stoked about it, just instrumentally, but we had 0 lyrics to it. And we had a melody, we had everything, but we just could not get the words right. And I'll hand this one off to Ben, because this is kind of crazy.
Well, yeah. So we got some lyrics. We got like a concept.
Yeah. So we came up with the concept, and in a nutshell, the sentence is that fear is a contagion, coming through the air, and love is the antidote. And so you have fear outside and love within, and just basically that concept was all we had. And then
so we were on to that, and we had a couple lines here and there, but not really a hook. We were looking for this hook because it's a hook song.
it is. It's our radio
have too many
song.
hook songs,
as if that was
but-
still a thing anymore. That's relevant. But yeah,
There is a hook, but so 2 nights ago, I have this dream where I'm completing the song, and I write the hook, and then the next thing I know, I'm waking up, and I write down the hook, and I text him. It's like probably 8 o'clock in the morning, but I text Chris that I have the song completed, thanks to my dream.
No shit.
yes,
So-
so crazy.
pretty
It just
crazy.
happened too.
So I'm really interested in my dreams right now and
Yeah, no
seeing
kidding.
what I can do in them.
yeah.
Wow.
Apparently, you're onto something
Write
in the
a song,
subconscious
yeah.
Are
there.
you doing
Yeah.
some sort of like meditation or ayahuasca or what?
No ayahuasca, but I do like to meditate.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Transcendental
But
state.
yeah,
or
like
whatever.
some it's like some lucid dreaming that's
Yeah.
being very beneficial now because it was getting to be crunch time with that song. Whether it would make it on this album was a question that was
Yeah,
getting
especially recently with
scarier.
it being the only song that's not fully completed, and we want it. I mean, we want it so bad because we're really excited about its sound. We're excited about the concept, the message, everything. But we just weren't sure if we were gonna, if we were gonna have enough time. Especially struggling to, you have a concept, you have these melodies, but that doesn't mean what you're writing is gonna make any sense or sound good or fit. And we've had a lot of variations of the lyrics, but they never were just like, oh, this is it. Like you feel it when it happens, like we know, like we're in some songs it just happens.
Yeah.
And this one in particular
Yeah.
was just dragging its feet, like just not quite getting there, and then your dreams took
The
over.
dreams.
and yeah, so like
You're keeping the dream a
those are the
secret, or-
lyrics. The dream, that's all I remember from the dream.
It's just
Was
the
writing
lyrics?
the lyrics. He wasn't even like he was acting
the
the
best
lyrics
part, man.
out. He's like in the dream writing.
It's just
And then
been.
wakes up and writes.
Wow.
He just
Yeah.
sits at a desk and writes in his
Like
dreams.
the last thing in my dream I was gonna do was tell Chris about the lyrics I had just written,
Uh-huh.
and then I
Then
woke,
you
up,
woke up and did
I
that.
told him, yeah.
What a great use of time.
Yeah, right.
You're being so efficient.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. It's like zero effort. It's like you're on autopilot
I want
and
to get a lot of
creativity's
stuff
still
done in my
going.
dreams.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I'm gonna start doing the dishes and all the chores around the house in my dreams. So
There you go. So then you wake up and they're done.
yeah.
That could get kind of dangerous though, man. I don't know.
Yeah, sleepwalking.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys brought a couple songs here. We're gonna take a break. Play your YouTube feed. This is actually a video you guys on top of Crowder Mountain to start
Oh,
with.
yeah. Nice.
What inspired you guys to do that?
Ben.
Yeah.
We like doing that type
Yeah.
of thing, going to Crowder's Mountain.
It was President's Day, so we
It was
were all off
it
work
was-
for some reason.
And it was packed.
It was.
It took us like an hour and a half just to get into the parking lot.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Oh, that
was
sucks.
kinda bad.
We almost
But
turned
once we
around.
got up there, it was worth
Yeah,
it.
it was.
But
I
It
it-
fought
was
yeah.
for
worth
it.
it.
They wanted to go back.
That's true. We
I
did.
fought
We
for
pussed
it.
out.
We were going.
like,
We were going to go to a lake. We were like,
Yeah.
let's just go to a lake somewhere.
Yeah, let's go get in a body of water. We don't want to wait for this. But he was like, no, man, it's going to be cool. And so actually our friend Suji joined us with a camera, and we brought a little H4n Zoom recorder and bought a little, it was not a microKORG, sorry, a Volca Beat drum sequencer, a microKORG bass or synthesizer that we use for the bass, and he has a little mini pink guitar, and we had a little battery-powered Marshall amp.
Yeah.
So the whole performance is battery-powered with one recorder sitting right in the middle, and then us just kind of singing into the open air on the top of Crowder's, overlooking Charlotte, 30 miles away. But it was kind of funny. It's like the irony is we're taking this stuff out into nature and but using these electronic elements, and that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was President's Day, so there was a shitload of people. So we actually had like a crowd on top of this mountain.
Oh,
when we were
that's
playing.
cool.
It was people were like, "What are you doing?"
It's the second they make any kind of noise, though, it's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Oh,
we
like,
gotta do
redo
it all
that.
over.
Yeah. It's like we're trying to record it and want to clean audio, and then like 5 high school girls come by. Oh my god, look at this view!
I think they're recording.
Yeah, I think they're recording something. Like, well, not anymore.
How did you get the vocals in though? Were you guys like loud mics?
Open air, no.
Really? That H4
Yeah.
did that?
Yeah, picked it all up.
Powerful Zoom recorders.
And we just sang. Yeah.
There's like no wind noise.
There wasn't a lot of wind.
There wasn't a lot of wind that day.
Yeah.
I brought in a little fluff, a little
Uh-huh.
wind protector for the outside to put it over, and I just leaned it against a stump, and that was it.
Well, it turned out awesome.
Oh,
So
thanks,
here,
yeah.
here
Okay.
is the fruit of your guys' labor. What's the song?
Stardust.
Stardust.
In its infancy, it glistens in the light. It wraps its jaws around and puts up quite a fight. Emulating love, the flowers come to bloom. Will radiate the love that's underneath the moon. Stardust comes to life. Keeps going on and going on and on and on and on and on. Tonight I'll sing my song. Keep moving on, keep trucking on, keep fucking on. 'Cause I open, dark sky turns blue. Make it what you want it wants you. Breathe in the air and breathe it out. That's what it's all about. To me, it isn't fair. You're missing out when I see how with all that's there. Sun burns out tonight. Don't burn out. Breathe in and out. That's what it's all about.
We're doing 2 songs. This
First one.
Yeah, the first one is the first track off of our newest album, or upcoming album, I should say. And the song's called Whistleblower. little instrument switch.
What's up, everybody?
Hello, Internet. So yeah, this next song is the one we were speaking of earlier, where I mistakenly explained this unnecessarily. But this one's called Cold Fish, and it is off our upcoming album, Cosmic Propaganda, coming out May 16th.
Amber's got it. I can't wrap my head around. I can't believe. Why don't you care? An argument to argue about will win our best. Bulletproof vest. This is our humanity. This is what exists. Put down your arms, open your heart. I'll wrap my head around when we'll listen. How did it start? A complicated present moment. I wanna stare into your soul and with the heart that you don't have. I wanna stare into your soul and with the heart that you don't have. I wanna stare into your soul and with the heart that you don't have. I wanna stare into your soul and with the heart that you don't have. I wanna stare into your soul and with the heart that you don't have. I wanna stare into your soul and with the heart that you don't have. I wanna stare into your soul and with the heart that you don't have.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Switch my camera over here so I can look at the camera. All right, so that's it for the show this weekend. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm sorry about the streaming issue. We'll get this thing uploaded here shortly. So you guys got some dates coming up you want to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, April 5th, we're going to be in Greenville, South Carolina, at the Radio Room. Then we have April 6th, which is going to be in Charleston.
Charleston.
Then April 7th, it's in Columbia.
You guys are back up here on the 10th, right? At the
Yeah,
Fillmore?
April 10th, the Fillmore. We'll be playing that. We'll be gracing the Fillmore stage for the first time.
That's going to be awesome.
We're really
It's the
stoked
first
right now.
time ever.
Who you got playing with you that night, or is it just you guys?
That is actually, it's called Raw Artists Presents Magnify. It's an artist showcase that we got booked for. So we have a link on our Facebook where you can buy tickets. And the deadline for ticket purchase is April 1st. The show's April 10th, but we're doing something a little different. We've got this thing called the Cosmic Merch Bundle. So if you buy a ticket to the show, you'll receive a t-shirt, a custom flyer for the event, and a sticker.
Sweet.
If you buy a ticket from us before April 1st.
And where can people buy those tickets at?
You can buy those tickets online at rawartists.org or whatever it is. Yeah. So yeah, it's we'll have a link on our social media up today.
I'll put some links in the notes for this as well. Also, this week we have Thursday at Old Town Public House. Uncle Buck will be playing there at 8. They got coffee now too, by the way, so there's no excuse to sleep on that. Friday at West Band Winery, Captain Dar will be bringing the Margaritaville vibes there. That starts at 6. And that's all I got for plugs this week. Thanks to DJ Parody for hooking me back up with his songs, because I had a hard drive crash last week and lost everything. So anyway, thanks to the Wormholes for paying us a visit. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, YouTube, and follow us on Twitch. I think that's how this works. I think you follow on Twitch. Anyway, have a great week. Peace out.